Why does it feel like our generation is more anxious and depressed than our parents' generations? Are we actually struggling more or just talking about it more? For me, it was magazines, it was music videos, it was Much Music, it was MTV, and then you are now doom scrolling in all these lifestyles and you just cannot turn it off. What is up, beautiful people? I've been doing more and more of these presentations where it is, sometimes there's a panel and we get kids to write, or not kids, I hate calling them kids. We get students, young leaders, to write their questions down, and I don't know, there's like a panel of leaders and professionals, and we pick some of them or whatever. So it says here, why does it feel like our generation is more anxious and depressed than our parents' generations? Are we actually struggling more or just talking about it more? That is a very, very insightful question. So let me give you the difference between like our generation, so like my generation, so not too far back, and your generation right now. Both generations expressed or experienced the comparison of the A-list people. And I say A-list, I mean, the rich and the famous, right? For me, it was magazines, it was music videos, it was Much Music, it was MTV, and before there was a show called The Houses of the Rich and the Famous. And then we would see these things and we would compare these things, and it got us thinking and wanting more, and got us like, oh, I want to have that kind of lifestyle, and I want to have that rich and famous kind of life. And then when we didn't have it, it would get us a little bit sad. You guys have it too, 100%. The biggest difference is that we were able to turn it off. So if I was tired of watching television, if I was tired of watching the rich and famous or whatever, I had the power of the remote control and turn it off. And back in the days, the shows didn't last more than 30 minutes. So we were getting hit with 30 minutes of the rich and famous. And then that's it. Then we would be watching Full House. Then we would be watching Growing Pains and Family Matters and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or The Cosby Show, where during these shows, we would also be getting hits of oxytocin, so that love chemical. So we would be getting shots of dopamine, and and we would be comparing ourselves, and that serotonin levels were somewhat high, and then be watching these things, and why isn't my life looking like that? But then we would watch these funny shows, and then the televisions would turn off for us, and then that's it. Nowadays, you guys, or this generation, doesn't have a turn off button. You are stuck in what it's called doom scrolling, and you're just watching over and over and over and over again. You are hiding yourselves in bedrooms and bathrooms, and then you are seeing the same things that we were seeing, but you guys don't have a turn off button. So what does that mean? That means that yes, you are in front of your faces. You have more things to get you to compare yourselves, your lives to. And not just, and here's the thing, is it's not just the lifestyles of the rich and famous, but it's that friend that lives down the street. Why is my friends taking so many vacations, meanwhile I'm stuck at home? They made it to the basketball team and then I didn't. And then you are now doom scrolling in all these lifestyles, and you just cannot turn it off. And then you're exposed to all of these things, right? So 100%, there is a higher levels of dopamine and addictions, which leads to depression, this generation than my previous generation. The second biggest thing, and this is the second, so there's two things, and the second biggest thing is the fact that if I was getting picked on, bullying, or if I had a rep, all I had to do was just switch schools, and then I can restart and relive my life all over again. However, you guys, whatever you post online, whatever you are experiencing and whatever you are subject to, that thing travels with you. So you might switch schools, but the drama doesn't leave behind, doesn't stay behind. The drama actually carries with you. Yeah, you're right. This generation, your generation, is expressing and feeling more stress and more harmful things are coming into your life than our generation, 100%. And so yeah, so just be mindful of that, right? And again, it's a balancing game, and there are things that you can do to set parameters and limits and filters for you to not experience so much of these things. But again, that's another question. But to answer this particular question, 100%, your generation is feeling. Hang on, what was the question again? So yes, your generation is expressing and feeling more anxiousness and more depression than we ever did growing up, 100%. So that's the answer for that.